We are at the Simi Winery in Healdsburg with Executive Chef Mary Everly with us. Thank you for joining us, Mary.
Pleasure.
What's on the menu today?
Today we're making Panzanella. This is an Italian bread and tomato salad. Tomatoes are here at last, so we want to glory in them. And I've designed this dish to go with Chardonnay. Generally, Chardonnay is very rich, and it's a little hard to do salads with it. But I've made this work, and what I've done is I've cut up a whole tomato, and then I've gotten, if you can get like at the farm market or down at Anstead's in Healdsburg, they have great local produce. If your shopping doesn't jive with farm market day, get these assortment of tomatoes and cut them up in different ways. I do advise cutting cherry tomatoes at least in half. Maybe you could throw in a couple of the little teeny ones, but you know, they are so hard to pick up and eat when they're whole. I wish you've all had the experience of chasing cherry tomatoes around the plate. So maybe I'll put a couple in just for appearance, but generally keep them cut up for ease of eating. All right, to the tomatoes, I'm adding some very thinly sliced cucumber. I'm making a salad here that could probably be a dinner salad for 2 people. Then some very thinly sliced red onion. And you have to, I did about 1/4 of a cucumber, but you have to be careful with red onion because it can be very strong. So depending on, when you start crying when you're cutting it, back off on the quantity.
Okay.
Then I'm going to add olive oil, and I like to pick a nice buttery olive oil that helps sort of marry with the Chardonnay. And sherry vinegar, sherry wine vinegar works very well with Chardonnay because it's aged and it has some of the same characteristics, a little sweetness, a little nuttiness like a Chardonnay does. A little salt and white pepper rather than black, because white pepper is a little milder, a little softer, works better with the Chardonnay. Now you could actually do this a little bit ahead because it's nice to give the tomatoes time to let some of their juice come out. And you could do this with all big tomatoes. I wouldn't advise just cherry tomatoes because they aren't quite juicy enough. You can see I've got quite a bit of juice coming out already. And then some very thin ribbons of fresh basil, also coming into the market now and also wonderful with Chardonnay. So it's sort of a sweet herb, and because Chardonnay has a lot of sweet fruit in it, it works really well. Now for the bread, what I've taken, this is a potato onion ciabatta from Village Bakery. I particularly like it for this dish because it's not too dense, and the onion and potato also make a really nice combination with the Chardonnay. Okay, that's your dish.
That looks delicious.
Oh, this is so good. Garnish it with some basil sprigs. I got some opal, the purple basil as well as the green. And if you have a white plate like I do, you can also drizzle a little basil oil around the outside of the plate.